Hi, everybody, and welcome. It is Wednesday. That means it's press day for the Sayersville Independent Prefaces publication day tomorrow. In addition to a great other deal of important news, as I told you on last night's program, my editor Heather Oney has been putting together a report this week talking about vehicle taxes and the expected increase based on NADA values, which have been pushed up to 30-40% based upon, of course, the supply issue with new and used vehicles across the nation, most in part to COVID, but of course other supply chain issues. That is going to make for an interesting read tomorrow, and of course still a situation that is fluid as legislators, as I told you earlier in the week, proposed two bills to try to stave those increases using car values from the year prior or just a new method to evaluate. But essentially it is Kentucky's law that says that we must follow book values of vehicles to assess those taxes. Look for that in the paper and other important reads tomorrow. And of course, always something entertaining. Our Throwback Thursday page will be another winner. It always is, looking back on previous editions of the Sayersville Independent. With that said, I've got news for you tonight. The weather forecast. A lot of talk out there, a lot of big numbers, but not in the forecast as of yet. A lot of things still would have to materialize to hit some big snowfall totals. I'm not saying they're not going to. I'm just saying it's still a little too far out to pin down any real numbers, real big numbers like have been seen based on some models. But I'll tell you what the latest is in just a few moments. Maroon and White Night. Of course, the preface to the high school basketball season, canceled to COVID. It was attempted to be held this Friday night, but due to COVID, it's just hard to ask that many people who don't normally get out for ball games, but they get out for that because of a lot of other things, a lot of other kids that are there. And after much contemplation, it has been canceled for the meantime. The biggest fundraiser, the main fundraiser of the year for the basketball program, kind of does cause some issues. So the school system is looking at maybe some alternate methods of raising some money. I'm not quite sure, but nevertheless, for now, Maroon and White Night has been nixed again, thanks to COVID. And COVID numbers will support that decision in just a few moments on the local level. Governor Beshear today spoke more about his proposed budget, outlining his plan in more detail, fully funding Medicaid and its 660,000 children. They're in the Medicaid program. 1 out of every 3 people in Kentucky are on Medicaid. 32,000 Medicaid providers received almost $6.5 billion in the most recent fiscal year. The governor also, as well, discussing Kentucky's nurses, the need, and the shortage.
A priority in my budget is also investing in those who care for our people during our times of need. In this case, Kentucky's nurses. In December, I signed an executive order to combat nursing shortage in the Commonwealth to help boost enrollment in nursing training programs. While this was a start, COVID and the unprecedented surge we're seeing from Omicron shows us the critical need to do even more. So in this budget, I provided $6 million each year to significantly increase the number of scholarships awarded to those who go into nursing programs. This is a much needed increase from the current scholarships financed by a portion of nursing licensing fees, which only award to about 150 students. My budget will significantly increase the number of students participating, and it doubles the maximum award currently provided of $1,500 per semester up to $3,000 per semester.
Beshear's budget would also establish $5,000 each year for 5 years for a student loan forgiveness program, $3,000 a year for each nurse or nursing faculty member employed in Kentucky. And for nursing homes, he would also recommend $150 million a year for nursing homes to maintain the $29 per diem reimbursement rate increase through June of 2024. That per diem expired on December the 31st. Also in the budget, $30 million through 2024 to transform Kentucky's local health departments. He also addressed needs in Kentucky's Pediatric Research Trust Fund, Protecting Children and Families, Child Care Assistance, a new office on dementia services, combating senior hunger, and addressed caring for Kentucky's veterans. And also from the governor's office, today's COVID numbers. Another record-setting day in the Commonwealth. I've lost track of how many days in a row we have set a new record for new cases. Today's 11,232. Deaths today reported at 21, and a positivity rating as well increasing, as is the case count, 27.39% for the state of Kentucky. The number of vaccinated, per our last update, 2,811,031 Kentuckians. Local COVID numbers for McGoffin County. A McGoffin County man among two that were arrested after found with having over an ounce of methamphetamine in their possession in a neighboring county. I've got high school basketball highlights from Pike Central and the Hornets last night, scores and schedules to get you caught up on Johnson and McGoffin teams, and that looming forecast that may or may not be producing some significant snow. Much more to come. Do you really want to get caught in this again on those tires? Get there in one piece and save. Conley Tires got specials going on right now through the end of March, like $100, even $200 back on a set of Goodyears. And get those tires, brakes, service, whatever you need, with 6 months no-interest financing. Conley Tire in Staffordsville or conleytire.net. Call the pros. All Pro Gutter Works specializes in seamless gutters, vinyl siding, metal roofing, replacement doors and windows, remodeling or adding on to your home with free and fair estimates backed by decades of happy and return customers with guaranteed satisfaction and 18 months 0% financing. All Pro Gutter Works. 349-9999. Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question, with 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Appalachian Wireless has a plan to make your life simpler. Forward pay. No contract, no credit check, no problem. Plans start at just $19.99 a month and include unlimited talk and text. Add 3 gigabyte of data for only $29.99 a month. 6 gigabyte of data, $39.99. Or take it to the max with unlimited data plus, only $89.99, which has 50 gigabytes of high-speed data. All the features without the long-term commitment. It's forward pay because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
A McGoffin County man was one of 2 people arrested in Johnson County this week. He was actually stopped on an earlier date, just a couple of weeks prior, actually less than 2 weeks prior, by the same Johnson County Sheriff's deputy, and was found to have been driving a vehicle that had no insurance and no valid registration. That same deputy recognized the same individual, I believe, in that same vehicle and made a traffic stop earlier this week, netting an arrest, 2 arrests actually, and nearly 1.5 ounces of methamphetamine. 33-year-old Jonathan Owens of Sagersville was stopped by that deputy on December the 31st, and then last evening he was seen by the same deputy and stopped again, and also failed field sobriety tests that were given after he exited the vehicle. Showing signs of impairment, a search was done of the car he was driving or vehicle, and inside the cavity of the vehicle where the radio would have been had it been still intact, there was a black case that was discovered. Inside it, several bags of methamphetamine, all totaling almost 1.5 ounces, as well as other drug paraphernalia. There was a passenger, a woman in the vehicle with him, identified as 20-year-old Brianna Strickland of Paintsville. She faces charges, as does Owens, of first-degree trafficking in a controlled substance, methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. In addition to those charges, Owens also faces other traffic-related charges similar to the ones that he faced in the first occasion of being pulled over by the same sheriff's deputy. He was also charged with DUI last night as well. Maybe not a lot happening on tonight's community calendar per se, as far as public service announcements, but I've got a birthday, and that's the most important thing. It's Debbie's birthday. It's Debbie Hughes' birthday, and a note from James says, I love you a whole bunch. Happy birthday tonight to Debbie. Debbie Hughes, happy birthday to you. Calendar announcements brought to you, as always, by McGoffin Farm Bureau, your local agent, Doug Green, and that's the only one I have for tonight, which just lets me remind you that when you've got one, send it to me any way you can. Tell everyone about it. I will. For birth announcements, birthdays, and anniversaries, we published for free there, too, in the Independent. There's the email at the bottom of your screen for those. Heather at SayersvilleIndependent.com. One funeral service announcement to pass along to you tonight. It's a reminder that services for Clyde Marshall, 57 of Sayersville, start tomorrow at 1 o'clock. They begin tomorrow at 1 from the Tip Top United Baptist Church. Visitation continues there the rest of the evening. Clyde, survived by his wife Linda, daughters Wanda Marie Bailey, Christy Michelle Sloan, Tabitha Joe Blanton, Dana Michelle Hall, Olivia Mae Marshall, Abigail Grace Marshall, brothers Luther and Dennis Marshall, sisters Margie Mans and Wanda Allen and Ellery Miller, as well as 11 grandkids and 3 great-grandchildren. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that you make contributions to the Clyde Marshall Memorial Fund, care of the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Not everything has changed over the years. Frazier's Prater Drugstore is still your most trusted pharmacy, where you can get your prescription brought to you curbside or make your way to the counter for a snack, lunch, or an incredibly sweet treat. And check out Strings and Things inside the shack, the Radio Shack, musical instruments, guns, ammo, electronics, and more. It's as wonderfully unique of a shopping experience as is the selection at Frazier's Prater Drugstore in downtown Sayersville. Just like Christmas, it only happens one time of the year. And it's here, the annual half-off Christmas sale at the seasonal shop. That's right, everything in the store Christmas is half off. And everything clearance is marked down 70%. That's right, it only comes one time of year after Santa has come and gone. The annual half-off Christmas sale for a very limited time at the seasonal shop in downtown Sayersville.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
Whether the new year brings you new dreams or you're working towards the same ones, let Sayersville National Bank help you build, bank, or save for them. Sayersville National has been helping dreams come true since 1902. Give them a call at the main location, 349-3131, or the branch, 6121. Now, a look at local COVID numbers just reported this afternoon from the McGoffin County Health Department for the first week of the new year. Top right of your screen, we totaled, not an insignificant 87 cases for the week. A total of 87. That's significant by any means, to say the least. Now, 23 cases were reported today, and you add those up, and for the 5 days counting today, we have, I think it's 122 total cases. We still have 2 days of reporting to go, and we've been consistently at 20 cases or better all week long. That drives our active case count up to 112. It was at 102, I believe, yesterday. And our number of hospitalized, I also fret to tell you, has increased by 1. We have 8 people currently in the hospital. That's one of the highest numbers we've had in a long, long time. One of those is on a ventilator. So out of those 23 reported today, 6 of those were in kids. 5 of those 23 were in are considered breakthrough cases. Going on over to our state incident rate map, McGoffin County has actually fallen just a bit from where we were yesterday, about 10 points or so, down to 114 still at 114. Johnson County's bumped up by just a point or two at 66.3, I believe it is, for today. And those are the numbers as were reported just around 4:30 on behalf of the state. We will find out tomorrow if we're going to continue to see an increase here in McGoffin County. I think 140 to the 50 range was the highest case count we've had for a week. If I'm not mistaken, I'll verify that. I believe we're probably knocking on that door this week. Now let's go to the McGoffin County High School, where last night the Hornets hosted Pike County Central. McGoffin County's boys opened their season with a win, mind you, at Pike Central, 78-73. Since then, they have amassed 6 wins and 6 losses before last night's regional matchup between Pike Central and McGoffin County. I arrived at the end of the third quarter. I got there for last night's regional matchup. The Hornets down 4 at the start of the fourth quarter, right before Jalen Rigdon stepped up to the arc and drilled the 3 to start off the last 8 minutes of the game. Next trip down, though, Aiden Barnett drops this one in. Hornets are just down 4. Now 5:30 left to go. Ben Lafferty with the board and the putback. Here the Hornets are down 7. Zane Whitaker here on the drive with the save and the basket. Hornets still trail by 6. Whitaker with another deuce at the 3:24 mark keeps the Hornets at a -6. But down 6 was as close as they would get for the rest of the game. 29-33 was your score after the third quarter. Pike Central outscored McGoffin County 37-27 in the fourth. For a final score last night of 56-70, Pike County evening up this round between the two on the regular season. That puts the boys from McGoffin at a 7-7 season thus far, pretty much halfway through. 1-6 for the 15th region, 0-2 right now in the district. That also puts the boys here at home. They're hosting Johnson Central tomorrow night. Tip-off set for 7:30. Coach Justin Williams and his Lady Hornets were on the road last night, and they came back with the loss against Wolfe County, 48-56, just an 8-point game between the two. The Lady Hornets next will face East Ridge, and this is a road game for the Lady Hornets. They're traveling there this Saturday. It's an evening game set for 7:30. The Lady Hornets right now on a 1-16 season thus far. Looking for a turnaround. The Lady Hornets are a few games now past the halfway mark on the season. Coach McKenzie and his Eagles win over Belfry 95-62. That game last night, that puts them, as we discussed here at McGoffin County, tomorrow night. The Golden Eagles 5-7 right now on the season, 2-2 in the region, and they've got one district game in and one district loss out of it. Again, they're traveling to McGoffin County tomorrow night for Johnson Central's boys at 7:30. While the Lady Eagles and Coach Rice's team, a loss at Belfry, 25-57. That was last night as well. That puts them just across town over at Paintsville this Friday night. Tip-off set for 7:30. The Lady Eagles right now, 5-9 on the season, 4-3 in the region. They've got 2 wins and 0 losses in the 57th district. So as far as district games are going, the Lady Eagles are going well. Coach Sloan and his Tigers, a loss at Betsy Lane, 65-73. Your final score. This was last night in the 15th region, All-A Classic. That takes the boys out. That with an 11-3 season thus far, 1-0 in the 57th district, puts them versus Leslie County this Saturday, and the Big Lou Coaches versus Cancer Classic at Perry Central. And the Lady Tigers, 42-33 over Floyd Central, and that puts them at an 8-6 run thus far in the season, 1-1 in the 57th district. They are hosting Johnson Central this Friday night at 7:30. Now, will we see more significant snowfall before the end of the 7-day? Well, that's a good question. Well, that's not the only question. That is one of a great deal of questions yet to be determined. I mean, if we're going to see some snowfall out of this, it is going to be Saturday and Sunday and maybe carrying over into the first of next week. But there's still a long way to go to get there, and a lot of things have got to come in play. A lot of models, some of which you may have seen, are throwing out and throwing down some huge numbers for snowfall amounts. Just not going there as of yet. Another 24 hours from now, we should have a much firmer picture of just how much snow we might see. So we'll stick to percentages at this time and talk more about it tomorrow. Southwesterly winds tonight from anywhere from 3 to 17 miles per hour and partly cloudy skies, and a low of 30 for the rest of your evening. Another decently warm day tomorrow. Today was pretty nice. I mean, the sun, and it felt warmer perhaps, I believe, than what actually was. Upper 40s again tomorrow. We do have some showers, light, a 30% chance of rain, winds out of the southwest for your Thursday. We'll take a dip temperature-wise into your Friday, only be about 39 again, and a low of 23. Light winds, mostly cloudy skies, and that will pretty much sum it up. I'm going to sum up your Saturday and Sunday, and like I said, briefly, we will dive more into it tomorrow when all the computers stop fighting this one out and we get maybe a better handle on what we might actually see. So, with that said, Saturday, we're just going to leave it right now at 32 degrees for your high, 23 for your low, mostly cloudy skies, and a 40% chance of some snow. Accumulating snow starting to fall? Yes, it could very well be, but we'll give it another 24 before we make that call, or at least start to put ourselves out on that limb. For the latter half of your weekend, we're talking about 36, partly sunny, lingering snow chances. We're going to leave it at 40%, so says the National Weather Service. I think it's a good, safe place to be right now until we know more. And a fairly consistent temperature run after that. Definitely consistent sunshine, 36 and partly sunny on your Monday, 40 partly sunny on your Tuesday, 39 partly sunny on your Wednesday, and no mention of snow. So if we're going to see it, it's going to be late Friday into your Saturday, lingering into your Sunday. But whether or not we're going to see it is still literally up in the air. Pardon the pun. Couldn't help it. And that's my time for this evening. Tomorrow's edition of the Sagersville Independent for the before-mentioned reason and story on automobile taxes, and for a whole lot of other reasons. I would call it a must-read. Hope you get one tomorrow, and hope to see you back here tomorrow night. Thanks again.